Getting closer to my dad was a great thing for me. Even though I didn't have the car and everything seemed like it was in slow motion, losing that car brought me closer to my dad. And I was able to still carry out my job at Waffle House. Every day he would get up and take me to work, and he would pick me up after. Once I finally got into the gist of the business, I worked the first, the second, and third shift. The first shift was in the mornings. The mornings were hectic. You had the early birds, the early coffee drinkers. You had people come in that was ready to go to work and coming in was in a rush. They wanted things quick, fast, and in a hurry. Very fast paced, very chaotic. The dishes were in a maze. once I was trained in the first shift and able to get everything together as far as getting in the quick, speedy. Sorry, being quick, fast, and in a hurry, a short amount of time. I was then promoted to the second shift to train. The second shift was more of the evening crowd, very chilled and laid back, and they would come in maybe after they had a long day and then just wanted to, you know, fill their belly before they went home to watch some TV. The shift was pretty laid back. I was able to do a lot of cleaning. I was able to get more of the, I would say, the small conversations, small chats going on. It wasn't as hectic. The dishes were not as piled. Um, it was very, I would say, relaxing to watch the sunset as I worked, as I washed each dish, as I sterilized each plate. And so I was loving the second shift. But that was not what I was hired for. Unfortunately, I had the third. The third shift was not as bad. It was just very time consuming as far as being more driven to do it. You want to know why? Because you come in at 9 o'clock and you don't leave until 7 in the morning. And if you don't leave, if you don't get everything done on time, around 7 o'clock, you get the big early rush, hence the first shift. So if you're there on your feet all day and you think you got everything done, if you're a second late to leave, you'll have another table. Me? Oh, I would stay for the other table. Even though I stayed on my feet for those amount of hours with a smile on my face and a pep in my step, an inviting spirit. If someone sat down at my table, if someone sat down in my section when I was closing up, I would take that last table. And it ended up being a table that would never leave. But I had strong work ethics. So once I cleaned everything and once they had what they wanted, I would stay until the table left. And I often get penalized for not washing up the extra dishes because I was not supposed to stay. So with me staying, all the work was pushed to me. And you know what I did? Even though it wasn't not my dishes and I was already running over time, I cleaned the dishes. Yes, I know. But it got to a point where I was like, no. I know how much All Star has. Has one small plate for the bacon, one big plate for the full meal. You have one cup, you got four spoons. I got it down to a science. Kind of like math too. But the thing is, I knew with my integrity I was not going to be able to leave because I had all these false accusations about whether or not I did my duties or not. With the evidence is clearly on the camera. On my shifts, I would honestly Honestly, I would come in, I would wipe all the mats, I would clean all the doors, I would do extra work throughout my shift. So that way, when it comes time for me to do my side duties, it won't be as much. I had it down to a science. Math, efficiency. I wanted to create more efficiency for the business and not be lazy. I didn't take any smoke breaks, so I was always in the building. And I used all those hours that there was no one there. I used all those hours to do all my work. For example, I'm not supposed to be there till 9. I get there at 8 o'clock. I sit down, I do my menu test and all of my side work, and then I clock in. And after I clock in, then I'm already prepared. I don't have to worry about leaving my customer, abandoning my customer to do my side duties, which is like a menu test or getting all my books and everything. I was already prepared to serve them and to give them my full attention so that they would leave happy. That was my only goal, is for each customer to leave happy. So, with that being said, it was very rough. I remember waking up thinking, oh, it's not 8 o'clock yet. Oh, it's not 7. Wait, what time is it? My brain was shattered, thinking about whether or not I was able to get up and do this job. And I just kind of panicked. I was like, wait, what time is it? My brain thought that it was either in the morning time or in the night. I was getting my days mixed up. I was getting my days mixed up and I was doing extra work, hard work. And I didn't really get the credit for that. And I don't want the credit. I just want to know. I want people to know that I was able to work and be a hard worker and to be efficient at my job. But there was also some stuff going on too that I did not know about, which was extra bonuses for to-go orders. I would just take to-go orders over the phone, and I wouldn't even record it. If I would have recorded all those to-go orders for answering the phone, I would have gotten a bonus. But I didn't care about the money. Like I said, the only thing I cared about was if the customer left happy and they had a great experience. And I was able to achieve that while working at Waffle House. Sorry, my voice. So, um, Valentine's Day was pretty rough for me. I was just getting out of a relationship, and I knew for myself, as well, if I know myself by now, anything that happens negative to me, there's always a positive outcome. So I kept it together. And I was called in to do the second shift after working from 9 p.m. to 7 o'clock in the morning. And whenever I told them I would be in at a certain time, because I had to get a little rest before I came back, before I can go to sleep, I got a call from Pizza Hut.